The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. On the show today, we will wrap up the 2019 Triple Crown season. Who left New York with that coveted third jewel of the Triple Crown? Terrific program on Belmont Stakes Day. We'll have coverage of the Bet Mile, the Manhattan on the Turf, and much more. And we'll also spend some time with Danielle Montgomery as she talks about the big day for turning for home next Saturday right here at Parks. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones down to the beautiful first floor here at Parks Racing, and he is Mr. Eclipse Award winner Dick Girardi right here. And Dick, we're going to wrap up the Triple Crown.
We are. It was an interesting Triple Crown with the first ever DQ in the Derby. Then the horses didn't come back in the Preakness, and the Belmont is like you've got the Preakness winner in it who's not really getting all that much respect, but it was fascinating.
We'll get your thoughts on the Triple Crown. We get news and notes, but Dick, the Belmont Stakes still is a Triple Crown race.
It is.
It's a mile and, of course, a mile and a half here. The big purse, $1.5 million, and everybody had Tacitus on their radar here. He breaks from post 10. Now, generally, you don't think that the post positions really matter that much on the big sweeping Belmont track. He gets bet down to 9-5. And Dick, he just checks so many of the boxes when you're looking at a potential Belmont Stakes winner that, again, hard to see that he wasn't going to be favored.
No, I loved everything about him, the sire, the way he was set up, the 5 weeks, all of it. But I will tell you this, Keith, as the day went on Saturday, and it became more and more obvious that the rail was golden, I was a little concerned that Tacitus would get an outside trip. I was hoping Jose Ortiz was paying attention and would see what I saw.
Second choice here is War of Will at 7-2 for trader Mark Cassie. And Dick, as we've seen throughout the grind of the Triple Crown season, a lot of times these horses that run well in the Derby and the Preakness just don't seem to have it when they get to the Belmont.
The last horse that got to this stage with the same circumstance was a Fleet Alex and won. That's what it takes. That's the kind of horse it takes. I did not like War of Will in this race.
You got some money on Intrepid Heart at 6-1 for Todd Pletcher, but we're going to go a mile and a half for $1.5 million. Let's get the call.
They're off in the Belmont Stakes, and it is Jovia who comes out running well on the lead. Tax is away running in second position. Spinoff is just off of them, and War of Will find himself fourth early on, and tucking in right behind him is Tacitus, who's fifth and drafting in behind War of Will into that first turn. And then it's Ever Fast, Intrepid Heart, Sir Winston on the inside, followed by Bourbon War, and last of them all is Master Fencer through a 23.92 opening quarter mile. So to make their way around this first turn here at Belmont Park, where Jovia, the expected pacemaker, is doing just that. He's on top by 3/4 of a length. Racing in second is Tax, Spinoff, and Javier Castellano. Sitting off the pace here, they're 3 lengths behind. Tyler Gaffleone settling back, War of Will under stump restraint here, fourth on the outside after a half mile in an easy 48.79 seconds. The pace has not been fast. And then it's Intrepid Heart racing on the outside of Everfast, who's in mid-pack. Jose Ortiz and Tacitus are 3 deep up the backstretch, and they're 5 lengths from front-running Jovia. Then a break of another 2.5 to Sir Winston, and then it's Bourbon War, and Master Fencer is last, and he's 11 lengths behind. So up the backstretch they go. 3/4 up in 1:13.54 seconds. Less than 6 furlongs remain in this Belmont Stakes, and it's been Jovia all the way so far. Tax continues to pursue him as they race for the far turn, and then it's Spinoff on the outside. At the rail, Ever Fast, War of Will, outside of horses, yet to be given his cue. He's 4 lengths behind with a half mile to go. Meanwhile, Jose Ortiz is starting to ask more from Tacitus, and Sir Winston has slipped through an opening on the inside as they make their way around the far turn. Still Jovia, still Tax, and on their outside it's Spinoff. And War of Will is moving now, and so too is Tacitus. It's very wide, and Sir Winston is right in contention behind horses as they make their way to the top of the stretch. And they're into the stretch, and it is Jovia and Tax Sir Winston comes up on the outside, and he got in front of War of Will. And Sir Winston has moved to the center of the track under Joel Rosario to take the lead. On the inside, Jovia fights on. Tacitus is there, and then Tex between horses. Master Fencer on the far outside. They're coming to the finish, and Sir Winston has won the Belmont Stakes.
The Belmont Stakes, edition 151, goes to Sir Winston at 10-1. Mark Casse wins it with a different horse. So one of the few trainers in history to win two Triple Crown races in the same season with different horses. Gets a perfect ride from Joel Rosario. Pays $22.40 to win. Tacitus was second. And Dick Jovia, that long shot who had the rail, ends up finishing third. Dick, this was won by the jockeys.
No question. Joel Rosario understood the racetrack, got his horse right to the rail, stayed there, first turn, backstretch, second turn, then tips out, wins the race. He absolutely won it. Unfortunately for Tacitus and Jose Ortiz, 3 deep on the first turn, 5 wide on the second turn. Again, it gets the bias. I thought he ran heroically to be second, but sometimes it's just bad luck that gets you beat. I thought Tacitus was the best horse, but best horse doesn't always win.
Heading into the first turn, I thought Ortiz had a chance to get in there. There was an opening. He stays to the outside, and as you told me coming into the show, he ran 67 more feet than the winner did, and what, he did lose by 8 or 9 feet at the finish.
On a track where the rail was gold.
So unbelievable.
Unfortunate.
Well, tip our caps to Mark Casse. Sir Winston, a Belmont Stakes winner. Before we get to our first break, Dick, how about part 3? How about part 3 of the economic impact of racing here in Pennsylvania? And here's more with our friend Bruce Casella.
The Pennsylvania horse racing industry has a tremendous economic impact in the Commonwealth. Yes, thousands of people are employed at the state's 6 thoroughbred and standardbred racetracks. Trainers, grooms, jockeys, drivers, betting tellers, blacksmiths, veterinarians, and many others are employed at Pennsylvania racetracks. But the economic impact of Pennsylvania's thoroughbreds and standardbred horse racing and breeding industry is much, much broader. To gain support from the rural legislators for legalized gaming, track operators agreed to allocate a portion of their slots revenue to increase incentives for horse breeders and boost racing purses. Those breeders' incentives and higher purses have attracted many new breeders to the state. Today, the number of thoroughbreds and standardbred horse breeders in Pennsylvania has grown to more than 2,500. One of those new breeding farms is Diamond Creek. Originally based in Kentucky, Diamond Creek opened a facility in Pennsylvania in 2012. 12 people are employed full-time at the 200-acre standardbred horse farm in York County.
The way the Pennsylvania breeders' funds and everything was coming up, we realized that this was a really great place for us to have our mares.
Farms like Diamond Creek serve as economic drivers in their local community as well.
I definitely think we have an impact. We're in a very small town. Wellsville is fairly small. We do try to use locally sourced companies. And everything you really think of, if there's a local way we can get it, we do try to do that. We believe in supporting the community as a whole.
Pennsylvania is basically where you want to be in standardbred racing, and primarily we've got some of the best purses out in the industry, and then basically if you are a stallion, you want to be able to stand in Pennsylvania. It's where all the best stallions are standing, and we certainly think that we've got the best stallion shed around in the industry, and then definitely within Pennsylvania for sure.
Construction and maintenance of horse barns and stables has created significant business for companies like King's Construction. Based in New Holland, the company specializes in construction of equine facilities.
We started 40 years ago by my brother and I, and by a small job, and he got one horse barn in Penn National. From there on is where the equestrian work had all taken off to where King's has built up to today. Our business has expanded, especially in the type of buildings that we've been doing, meaning more higher end, very unique type buildings versus what we had done 20 years ago.
According to economic studies, Pennsylvania horse racing and breeding delivers a $4 billion economic impact and employs more than 20,000 people in the state.
No matter what jurisdiction you go to, it's going to mean jobs. It's going to mean employment for people.
But the economic impact and job creation is likely far greater. The equine industry supports hundreds of farms throughout the state that supply hay, feed, and straw. Pennsylvania's racing and breeding industry also has spurred growth for manufacturing and construction companies like Farmco, EB Trailers, King's Construction, and many others. So the next time you visit a racetrack, keep in mind that the racing industry is a major driver of the state's economy, with thousands of Pennsylvanians who rely on the continued success of horse racing for their livelihood.
And we've got to give thanks to our man Bruce Casella. Always puts together a great piece. And Bruce, thank you. And stay with us. We'll be right back with lots more coverage on Belmont Stakes Day. And Danielle Montgomery joins us next after this.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time to welcome in our special guest this week, and it's Danielle Montgomery. Danielle, welcome. She, of course, the Chief Administrator for the Turning for Home program. And Danielle, next Saturday, your big day, Turning for Home Day. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, it's our 6th annual Turning for Home Day, Keith. We're really excited that Parks has joined with us again. We're going to bring out some of our alumni. We're going to just have a great day celebrating Parks racing and what we do for our adopted horses.
Now, Danielle, something special, something different this time. You're going to start with a special presentation at noontime down in the Cotillion Room. It's going to be open to the public. Tell us about that.
Yes, we're going to have our state veterinarians, Craig Goldblatt and Shari Silverman. They're going to talk a little bit to the public and to the trainers about what goes into making sure that these horses are safe to race. They'll talk about what they do for their vet exams, all the work that goes into not just the morning of, but all that we do here at Parks to make sure these horses are safe for racing.
When the NTRA was here for the accreditation, did you spend any time with them?
Yeah, they did. They asked a little bit about our program and how we do, and they were particularly, I think Turning for Home does a lot of tracking. We have 3 people full-time that are following up with our adopters, following up with our farms, and I think they were impressed with the tracking that we do here and how we make sure we don't just, send them to the first place and turn them loose. We follow them. We have horses, we've been doing this for 11 years. Almost 2,700 horses we've assisted, so we have thousands of horses out there, and it's a full-time job just keeping up with them and making sure they're safe into the 3rd and 4th home. So we talked to them about that. The accreditation is important, and Parks made sure that they did everything they can. They've always done everything they can for the safety of these horses.
Danielle, your program is involved with a lot of partner farms, and one of those just received a big award. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we were very happy for J.R. McCauley. Him and his wife Mindy run McCauley Equine, and at the Breeders' Awards dinner the other day, they were awarded an award of merit for all the horses that they've helped. They've helped 108 horses in just the last 2.5 years. So they do a great job. If you go to the Turning for Home Facebook page, we're always putting up pictures of our horses in their successful second careers, and JR's horses are always popping up winning this award, that award, blue ribbons, jumping, everything. So he's been a great asset to our team. He's right here in Pennsylvania, and he definitely deserved that award.
Now, Danielle, I'm not going to let you get away. If the people out there want to get involved with Turning for Home, how do they get in touch with you?
Turningforhome.org. They can go there and they can reach out to us by phone, by email, Facebook, whatever. We're always here 24 hours a day.
Well, Danielle, thanks for joining us, and I know you're going to be busy next Saturday at Turning for Home Day. Come out and join us here at Parks for the big day. Well, time to get more racing action. It's brought to you by Chapin Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. And we start by taking a look here at the Met Mile. And Dick, of course, 1/3 mile for a big purse, $1.2 million. What a terrific field for this year's Met Mile.
Yeah, almost $26 million in earnings. I mean, you got the best sprinter in the country right now in Matoli. You got last year's PA Derby winner in McKenzie. You got the 2-time World Cup winner, Dubai World Cup winner in Thunder Snow. I mean, you got Promises Fulfilled, a Grade 1 winner, Forense Fire, a Grade 1 winner. It's awesome. This is one of the best Met Miles ever.
Now, Dick, McKenzie goes off here as the favorite at 8-5, breaking from Pros 2 for our guy Bob Baffert. Dick coming off a huge effort last time out at Churchill Churchill Downs, and when he moves, he just moves with that breathtaking turn of foot.
Yeah, Bob's biggest concern at going into the race was the inside post. There's so much speed in here. Is he going to get trapped at some point? And his concern, as it turned out, was well taken.
Well, you mentioned Matoli, who's 7-2 here, and boy, has he turned into an absolute monster sprinter for Steve Asmussen. Got to run against Roy H. one of these days, but Dick Matoli hasn't been beyond 7 furlongs yet, and he's going to go a mile today.
Yeah, there's nothing about it that suggests he's not going to go a mile. When you watch him run, he's so relaxed, so cool. 6 in a row going for 7. This is a really good horse.
Here's the bet mile. Here's the call.
Cold Front leads the way through a 22.17 first quarter mile. Matoli is just off of him running in second. Promises Fulfilled, hard held off the top 2 third. Then the $16 million man, Thunder Snow, fourth on the inside. Prince Lucky is next alongside of him as Forense Fire splits those two and races 3.5 lengths from the front. Then Pavel. Mike Smith has Mackenzie inside of horses. He's 5 lengths behind around the far turn. And the trailer is Tail of Silence, the half, a blazing 44.38 seconds. And Matoli pokes his head in front of Cold Front as they make their way around the far turn. Promises Fulfilled is outside of them. Thunder Snow and behind a wall of horses will lead a way through. Forense Fire's going to come 4 wide. Mackenzie is in behind runners 2, and they're at the top of the stretch. Matoli, Promises Fulfilled, Cold Front cuts the corner. Thunder Snow moves between horses. Forense Fire is there. Mackenzie has no place to go. He's in traffic with a furlong to run, and Matoli to catch. Here's Thunder Snow coming through an opening on the inside. Mackenzie with a late path, but it's Matoli. He did it again!
Well, Dick Matoli is just absolutely sensational. Another victory here.
Yep.
Boy, he can get the mile. Wins by 3/4 of a length. Pays $9 to win. Number 2, Mackenzie, a very unlucky second.
Indeed.
Blocked so much in the stretch. Thunder Snow was 3rd. Dick, tell us about Matoli again.
Yeah, Matoli 108, big time, 132.75. The surface was incredibly fast all day long, all the times. But this is some racehorse, and Steve's got some decisions to make because he's got one of the best sprinters in the country, one of the best milers. Is he going to try to go a little farther? What's the plan? But whatever. Mackenzie will probably see him at Saratoga in like the Whitney or the Woodward, I would think. And certainly the goal for him is the Breeders' Cup Classic, and does nothing but flatter last year's Pennsylvania Derby with another great run by the winner.
If he doesn't get in trouble, does he win?
Yeah, you know, you will never know because I have such great respect for Matoli. I don't want to say that but he certainly would have been closer at the very least.
Dick, the big turf race, the Grade 1 Manhattan, that's 1.25 miles over the turf course there for $1 million. You don't get too many $1 million turf races. And Dick, I love number 8, Bricks and Mortar. This is a terrific field. He's 8 for 10 lifetime, $3.7 million. And when you look at the quality of this field and realize he's 3 to 5, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's won 4 in a row. He's 8 of 10 lifetime. He was off that really long layoff, and he just came back running, and nobody could beat him so far this year.
Second choice, number 10, Channel Maker, 5 to 1 for trader Bill Mott. Well, Bricks and Mortar's 8 for 10. Channel Maker is 5 for 24, but he is a multiple Grade 1 winner.
And he's won almost $2 million. He's been in the rate races. He's been close a lot.
Great turf race, the Manhattan. Here's the call.
Benoit, who's out there by 1.5 lengths. With Kurban sitting in second, Kachuan DA is third. A hard-held Channel Maker is fourth on the outside. Then Robert Bruce along the rail, followed by Bricks and Mortar. Raging Bull, the last of this Chad Brown quadrumvirate, is racing 10 lengths from the front. Meanwhile, Kurban is taking over up top. And at the back of the pack are Channel Cat and Olympico, 48.73 the half. And Kurban and Mike Smith wait no longer. They take control up the backstretch, and they have opened up here to a 3.5 length lead on Bandwa. And then it's Kachuan DA third on the inside, followed by Channel Maker fourth by 1.5 lengths. Robert Bruce is down toward the hedge, racing 7 lengths from the lead, moving for the far turn. 3/4 up in 112.24. So into the turn they go. And it is Kurban by 1 length, taken on once again by Benoit. And here comes Channel Maker on the outside. The 3 of them hook up, and Bricks and Mortar has made his way up into fourth, and he's just 2 lengths behind, and he's going to come 4 wide for the stretch drive with Robert Bruce just inside of him. And they're into the stretch, and it is Channel Maker on the outside. Bricks and Mortar runs at him down the center. Benoit tries to hang in there with Kurban toward the inside, and then comes Robert Bruce and Raging Raging Bull, but it's Bricks and Mortar. Bricks and Mortar has taken the lead here. Moving into second is Robert Bruce Late. Bricks and Mortar is so good.
Dick, you can just see it coming as they're rounding the far turn. Irad Ortiz in behind here with Bricks and Mortar, just waiting to tip him out in the stretch. And boy, when he tips him out, there he goes. Wins again, a length and a half pace, $3.30 to win. And what's this? Chad Brown finishes second and also finishes third, so he sweeps the top three and does it here with Bricks and Mortar.
Yeah, 7 stakes over the weekend. I mean, just unbelievable barn, and this is a really talented horse. He's over $4 million already this year. I mean, it's crazy, and this is not mine, but I'll repeat it anyway. Somebody put that on Twitter. There are no hanging Chads. When they come running, they come running for Chad. The only horses that can beat him are his horses. He's unreal.
Now we got to get Catholic Boy together with Bricks and Mortar.
That'll be fun.
I would love to see that matchup. Dick, let's get to the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps now. It's the older fillies and mares at 1 mile and 1/16. They'll run for $700,000. Dick, just a field of 5, but a good field of 5, and the public settles on number 1, Come Dancing, who's surprisingly 4 to 5 for trainer Carlos Martin. Now, Dick, she doesn't seem to have the class of Midnight Bisou, but she does look like she might be lone speed.
Yeah, the reason she was favored is because, A, she was lone speed. Midnight Bisou maybe has not been as impressive in her earlier races this year, even though she's won, and the inside of the racetrack was absolutely golden Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's why she got bet down. Otherwise, I mean, Midnight Bisou obviously has the better record.
Well, if you like Midnight Bisou, you get 8 to 5. And,
yeah, which isn't a bad number for last year's cotillion winner. I mean, who just had an amazing year. Would have been the 3-year-old filly champ any other year if Monomoy Girl wasn't around.
Ogden Phipps, here's the call.
Come Dancing and Manny Franco lead the way. The Manitoba Girl, Escape Clause, is running in second. She's a length behind. And then it's Mopetism on the outside. Mike Smith and Midnight Bisou are down toward the rail. They're 2 lengths off the lead. And just ahead of Pacific Wind, who's last of the 5 as they round the far turn. And a 45.96 half mile for Come Dancing, who leads the way by a length over Escape Clause, Mopetism, and Midnight Bisou's down on the inside, still biding her time. The trailer Pacific Wind is 4 lengths behind. Come Dancing just loping along here on the lead, on top by 3/4 of a length. And now the whip's out on Mopetism. Midnight Bisou's going to ride the rail right in behind Come Dancing as they make their way to the top of the stretch. 3/4 in 109.23. They're into the stretch. Come Dancing turns for home in front. Midnight Bisou now ranges up alongside, and she goes on by. Oh, and she's pulling away from Come Dancing, Mopetism, and the others. Midnight Bisou leaves no doubt today.
Well, you mentioned going into the race that maybe Midnight Bisou wasn't quite as impressive so far this year. You want to take that back now? What a performance that was. Blows him away by 3.5, and you get $5.40 to win. Come Dancing was absolutely second best. And Midnight Bisou right now with Monomoy Girl not around is at the top of the division.
Right, Monomoy Girl has been out with the colic problem. She's back in training now, I believe, but she's going to have a lot of catching up to do to Midnight Bisou, who has a huge lead in the division. Great ride again by Mike. Rode the rail, came in behind the leader, and just crushed the field. I thought this was the best race of her career, and that's saying something. So it was a good day for last year's PA Derby day. The winner of the PA Derby runs second in the Met Mile. Hard luck. Winner of the cotillion comes right back and wins another great one.
Steve Asmussen wins the Met Mile. He wins the Ogden Phipps. Does he have his horses ready on the big days?
He does. He's one of the best big race guys there is.
Let's get to our next break. We come back lots more. Stay with us right after this.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time to give out our Jockey and Trade of the Week, brought to you by the great Turning for Home program. We had Danielle on with us, of course, turningforhome.org. Dick, Jockey of the Week, one of the best rides of the year. Joel Rosario, of course, winning the Belmont Stakes. I mean, that was as perfect a ride as you get.
Yep. It doesn't win without that ride. No chance.
And Mark Casse, got to give him what a Triple Crown season he had. On the local front, Luis Castro, who continues to do a great job.
Right.
And remember jockey George Duarte Jr.,
Sure.
who rode here? He has now become a trainer.
Yeah, cool.
And he has come in with just a handful of horses.
Right.
He's winning with almost every
He's
one
hot.
of them. Absolutely.
There you go.
Georgie Duarte,
All right, George.
our local trainer of the week. Dick, let's get the race recap. On the turf, the Grade 1 Jiper, 6 furlongs for $400,000, 2 to 5 on number 8, World of Trouble for Jason Service. Dick, how fast is World of Trouble?
You know what's interesting about this horse, Keith? He's almost as good on the dirt as he is on the turf. You rarely see this, but he's just a killer at 6 furlongs on the turf. 106.37 for 3/4. I mean, the turf course was even faster than the dirt course, but World of Trouble is just unbeatable right now.
Boy, great to watch him run. $2.80 to win. Finally, the 3-year-old fillies in the Grade 1 Acorn. That one-turn mile for $700,000. Dick, here's our man Chad Brown, number 7, Guarana. She's won one race in her life. One! A maiden special weight. Her second start, a Grade 1 race. She's favored. Can she do it?
And that's the Kentucky Oaks winner. She is blowing by in the stretch. Serengeti Empress, like she's standing still. She's going to go and win by 6, get a 99 buyer. This is a superstar 3-year-old filly. Hopefully we'll see her in the cotillion later on this year. But Chad again, 133.58 for the mile, and not far off the net mile time for a 3-year-old filly making her second
A
start.
daughter of Ghost Zapper pays $5.80 to win. Eye on Racing and Dick, big day down at Churchill Downs, highlighted by the old Stephen Foster.
Oh, yeah, Stephen Foster, Grade 1, winning you're in for the Breeders' Cup Classic, and it'll be fun. It's always a good night.
Wise Dan on the turf, 3-year-olds in the Matt Win, big day at Churchill Downs. We're going to wrap it up. News and notes. Dick's thoughts on this year's Triple Crown. Stay with us. Be back after this.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner, low-mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. News and notes brought to you by the great folks at Pewter Stable. Log on to their website, pewterstable.com. Become an owner today. Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones, and Dick, I don't know whether it was just me, but after all that happened in the Kentucky Derby, it just seemed like the Triple Crown was off. What were you? Is it just me?
No, I think that's fair. I think unsatisfying is a good word, just not off the rails, however you want to look at it. Yeah, once we had the DQ and then Maximum Security Country House didn't go on to the Preakness. Look, War of Will was a deserving winner. Good to see him win. Mark Casse. Belmont was an exciting race. But yeah, it was just something missing. And look, we've been very fortunate recently. American Pharoah, Justified, Triple Crowns. Just wasn't happening this year. Maybe we get something in the second half for the PA Derby. Although Maximum Security's having blood work. Not quite sure when he's coming back. Took Omaha Beach longer than they thought to recover from the surgery. So it's been kind of a mess. Hopefully the second half will go better than the first.
And you have a big story. Your article this week on Parks Racing, Let's Go Racing Parks.com is about just the wrapping up the Triple Crown.
Yeah, just all the stuff that happened, and it's like it's such a cool event, and it's like, hey, some years is better than others.
That's going to wrap it up for this week's edition. Come out and enjoy the racing action here at Parks. Tomorrow, big Father's Day program. You can bring Dad out and enjoy the day here with us, 12:55 post, and we'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.